Welcome back, guys, to Apollo Justice Ace Attorney as we head back to the courtroom. Now, very much not liking Diane Crescend, who stopped us speaking to Machi as he was about to reveal something. We have ourselves a ton more information now, mainly around things of a Borginian nature. The replica here, the Borginian cocoons, a remedy for incuritis. We've got just given stuff everywhere here. The Igniter's going to play an extremely strong part, I'm sure. We've got a Borginian newspaper, article about the case, doesn't mention the lyrics of Lamiroir's ballad at all. I'm surely that will be something as well. And I imagine a lot will be played with this form diagram and the whatnot at this point in time. The headset, a lot of stuff we gained on our second day of investigation, that's for sure. How will this play out now? As we see, do we see Machi before he goes in? That's what I'm wondering. Well, this is it. Today's the day it all goes down. And then there was yesterday. This meeting is over. Sorry. Just give us 5 more minutes. We can call them back after that. Sorry. No go. Come on, piano boy. We're leaving. Diane, wait! I never liked you. Either of you. Huh? Darn it, we were so close. He was about to tell us. Hey, Apollo. He didn't want us to hear what Machi had to say. I think I know why. Time to bring down a little justice. Yeek! What? Why's there a bang? What was that? He is heard but unseen. Ah, Valant? Who's that talking? Valant Grammaire! Using the door like an average muggle, no less. Average muggle? You're really using that in the game, blimmin' hell. You aren't the witness today, are you, Uncle Valant? Ha 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 ha! A preposterous proposition! How could I stand upon the stand? Why, my secrets would be free for the plucking! I might even have to sign autographs. That is why I intend to remain hidden for the entire day. Oh, with vanishing magic? Indeed! I will jump upon an express train and express myself to the next town over. But before I go, a word of warning. Warning? What? A grand grammaire glamour resides at the root of all that has happened. Do not forget this truth. A glamour? A spell, a sorcery, a great illusion. Miss Trucy, though it pains me to part so, I need to get in line for a ticket. Farewell! And there he goes. He sure seemed happy about that illusion thing. Oh, big illusions are the bread and butter of a magician. You can't pull off a show without one. The big illusion is always a spectacle to remember. Usually it involves cutting up things like people or elephants or the Eiffel Tower, anything really. He was talking about what he saw at the concert. Lamiroir's disappearing act. And Prosecutor Gavin's exploding guitar. I wonder what he meant by it being at the root of all that has happened. Well, it's about time. Shall we go? Ah, excuse me, sir. Yes? The scheduled starting time for the trial has been changed. The trial will not be commencing until 10:30. Sorry for the inconvenience. Huh? Did something happen? This is a first. It was by the judge's request. Some urgent personal business. Great, but he stayed up too late last night watching courtroom dramas. Apparently, he's visiting the hospital again. The hospital? I believe it was mentioned that the Chief Justice's son is unwell. Apparently, his condition worsened considerably this morning. Incuritis? The Chief Justice's son. Oh, that's right. Remember yesterday morning? The judge said he had to go visit him after the trial. There's an article about it in the newspaper. If you care to read about it yourself. Right then, newspaper article. Incuritis? Where have I heard that before? First case in the country. Disease strikes closer to home than ever before. I'll let you read that article for us, Apollo. Just leave the TV guide page to me. Try not to lose the page with the funnies if you can. Right, we have... This is linked to the Chief Justice as well? This is crazy. Could it be that Diane was trying to get it based on that? Because it looks like, of course, Diane was trying to get hold of the stuff rather than help the Interpol agent. I don't know. And it was smuggled directly to here. Ah, so much to question. My apologies for the delay. Court is now in session for the trial of, how do you say this name again? Machi Testimony. Our suspect, Fortissimo even.
Right, it is trial in any case.
The defense is prepared, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready to rock. Is something wrong, Your Honor?
No. Well, yes. It's just, I've been friends with the Chief Justice since we were students. It pains me to see him going through such a difficult time.
Icteritis, was it? That article said there is no known cure. Herr Judge, let me say, with all honesty, I feel your pain. But now is not the time for tears. Now is the time for law.
Indeed. We left off at quite the juncture yesterday.
I asked Interpol about that number. IPXX 314206. The agent registered on this number was Romain Letouze.
Thanks for looking into that for us, Detective Crescend. It's a great help.
Oh, no problem at all, Your Honor. I'll be heading out. Wait! That voice just now! It was him, I'm sure of it!
It was him?
That voice I heard, talking to Mr. Letouze, when I heard the gunshots fired, it was him! It was Mr. Dian! No way! Quite a sensational ending. Who would have thought Dian would guest star on the season cliffhanger as a suspect?
I asked the prosecution to look into this matter. Please tell the court your findings.
Dian Crescend is a member of my band, the Governors. He is also a detective, making the current charges serious indeed. Yet after investigation, I have found no cause to alter our case or file new charges. And your reason is? Weren't you aware, Herr Forehead? He has an impeccable alibi.
An alibi?
Let us review the facts again, shall we? The concert held on the night of the shooting was in 3 sets. The Governors ripped up the stage during the first set. For the second set, our guest took center stage. The only performers appearing were myself, Lamiroir, and Machi, along with a drummer and bassist for a total of 5. The shooting in the dressing room, however, took place during the third set. Lamiroir and the defendant, Machi Testimony, had left the stage at that point, and the Governors were already rocking. This is when 2 shots rang out at the scene of the crime. Shots heard by Detective Emma Skye, mind you. And Apollo, you heard them too, right? I sure did. Furthermore, Lamiroir herself witnessed the moment of the crime. Well, perhaps I should say she heard the moment of the crime. When she claims to have heard Mr. Letouze and Detective Crescend talking.
But that's impossible. Detective Crescend was...
Precisely. Detective Crescend was on stage getting his groove on, no less. Voila. A perfect alibi.
Does the defense have anything to add to this?
It's true. When I heard those gunshots, he must have been on stage. Still, there's something here that doesn't quite add up.
It appears the defense has no objections. I believe we can safely say that Dian Crescend's alibi has been acknowledged.
Which means that Lamiroir was sadly mistaken. Her testimony cannot be true.
Very well. Of course, if we disregard her testimony, then I see no evidence keeping us from declaring a verdict. If indeed there are no objections...
Oh, Apollo, if he declares a verdict now... Prosecutor Gavin's case is airtight. Lamiroir might have been lying to protect Machi. How can I rely on her testimony? Wait, what about yesterday in the detention center? About the case? What about the case? He wants to tell us about Mr. Letouze's death? This meeting's over. The flashbacks, ma'am. Dian? Machi was trying to tell us something, I know it! Maybe the best thing to do is to ask him, under oath.
Very well. The court finds a defendant her. What was his name again?
Your Honor!
No, that wasn't it. It was something like Marquise, or Mr. Justice.
Your Honor, before you declare a verdict, I would like to call another witness. Exactly who else do you need to hear from? A witness who until now has not been given a chance to speak in this court. Because he doesn't speak English. You don't mean... I do. The defense calls defendant Machi Testimony to the stand.
What? But he doesn't speak English.
We'll use an interpreter. Interpreter? I'm afraid you have to look elsewhere. I only speak a few phrases such as I love you and where is the toilet. The defense would like to request Lamiroir as the interpreter.
Lamiroir? But there's a possibility she's protecting the defendant.
She'd be interpreting for the defendant. Why would she lie?
This is most unusual.
Bravo, Herr Forehead. Herr Judge, the prosecution agrees with the defense's request. If Lamiroir lies, I'll be able to tell. Even my limited knowledge of the language should be enough for that.
Well, if both prosecution and defense are for this, I see little cause for refusal.
Finally, some progress.
Bailiff, please show the defendant and Lamiroir to the witness stand.
I suppose there's a first time for everything. Shall we proceed? Your name to begin with, if you would, Lamiroir. Yes. He says Machi Testimony, the defendant.
This is certainly a first for this courtroom. Not that we really need an interpretation of that message in particular.
So far, so good.
Very well, Mr. Justice. If you would.
Huh? If I would what, Your Honor?
Would what? You called the defendant to the stand, did you not? What would you have him testify about?
What I want him to testify about? I hadn't thought of that far yet. Apollo! Aren't you going to ask him what he was about to tell us yesterday? How can I if I don't know what he was saying? Excuse me a moment, if I might speak.
Yes, Lamiroir.
Just now, Machi said there is something about which he wishes to testify. Machi wants to testify about something? What could it be?
What sort of testimony is he talking about?
One moment, please. The suspense is killing me! What? What? What?
Well, Lamiroir.
According to Machi, he has proof of his innocence.
What?
This is a surprise. Yahoo! Victory, Apollo! We did it! This is sounding too good to believe, and I know what that usually means.
Well, if that's true, then this is vital testimony. Lamiroir, I mean Machi. Please testify to the court.
Very well. He says that word of Mr. Latouz's death came as a great shock. But if the killing truly followed the lyrics of my song, he could not have done it. He says that because the lyrics are in English, he does not understand them. Now this is something that I said before that I very much doubt. He reacted to me speaking in front of him, to asking him questions, with a perceive kind of tick, a tell. We couldn't find out what that was, however. And how do we find out now? I believe he speaks English. I believe it's not just lying about his ability to see or not. So I imagine that's the point we have to press, considering it's come up in court.
I see. He wouldn't have understood the English lyrics of the song. That would prevent him from following them so closely.
I wonder what he meant by proof. Why, he would only have to ask Lamiroir to know the meaning of that song. Lamiroir, did you ever explain the lyrics of that song to him? I did tell him, generally, what the song was about. But never in so much detail, and he never asked. Has my oft-repeated warning already fled that forehead? Lamiroir might be protecting the witness.
Well, anyway, let us proceed with the cross-examination. Mr. Justice, if you would.
Yes, Your Honor. Something's hidden in that testimony, I know it. I'll just have to trust my bracelet to tell me where. It worked yesterday. It'll work today. The proof of innocence. What is it? He says that word of Mr. Latouz's death came as a great shock. It is the bracelet again. I kind of want to move to the last statement already. Were Machi and Mr. Latouz close? Yes, after we travelled around the world on tour together. Lamiroir, this is Machi's cross-examination, not yours. But I knew the answer. This is a court of law. We'll play by the book. I understand. Prosecutor Gavin's tough. He's really tough. Machi said he was very good friends with Mr. Latouz. Mr. Latouz was always a gentleman, never angry. We got along well. I never dreamed something like this would happen. But if the killing truly followed the lyrics of my song... The guitar's serenade, correct? Yes, the crime followed the lyrics of the song. Don't go for it again. Theft of the keyring, the burning guitar, and the bullet. This is why it could not have been me. I, that is he, could not have done it. By could not have done it, you mean... It's very simple. Machi could not have done all the things that happened that day. Yes, I know. For all those things followed the song lyrics closely. He says that because the lyrics are in English, he does not understand them. See, this is where I think we're looking, because I reckon it's going to be about the English thing. Now, do I press, or do I... Actually, I can cancel that. I can cancel it when I need to, so that's fine. Oh, wait, I can see through his glasses? It's like literally trained on his face. Wow, you can focus in so much that you can see... Well, that was obvious when the blooming game put it straight on there. Oh, I needed to press perceive then. He can understand English. We know he can understand English. The game literally bang on put it right where we need to be. It's so weird that we can see through that. Of course, there's not going to be any ticks on you. We know where your tick is. It's right here. Anyway, we can now perceive this.
Gotcha!
I knew you understood English. Machi. You can't fool my eyes. You glanced toward her the very moment Lamiroir said the word English. Why? Don't bother interpreting that. He understands me. Machi, tell the truth. You can understand English, can't you? What are you saying? Of course he can't. Must he continue this charade? Mr. Justice, Machi says this. I know the word English. Huh? Before coming to this country, he heard me speaking English. He learned the name for this language. That is all. What? Give me a break. Is that such an unusual word to understand? Do you not know Espanol, for instance? Well, yeah, but... I'm sorry, but he truly does not understand your language. Well, then explain this. How does he know the crime followed the lyrics? Have you always been such a suspicious-minded lad? It is simple. So simple it hardly requires an explanation. You read about it in the newspaper. The newspaper? The Burgundian Daily Bugle. You can buy it in this country these days, you know. They have already begun to report about this case in our homeland. Yes, but it didn't say the lyrics. We literally just checked that about 17 minutes ago. I was right. What is wrong, Mr. Justice? Your eyes, they're quite fierce all of a sudden. Machi's lying. Maybe it's time to show them proof that he's lying. Of course, not a problem. I'm feeling quite confident about this place after all at the moment. I have here a Burgundian newspaper, the Burgundian Daily Bugle, as a matter of fact. Indeed, there is a feature article about the case. Could you read this for me, Machi? That's right. It doesn't mention the lyrics. What? What is this all about? I'm sorry, Machi. You couldn't have read about the lyrics in the Burgundian newspaper. I guess spider kind of emblem is exclamation marks.
What does this mean?
But I don't see how it's possible. Ah, I know. He must have heard the lyrics when the police were doing their questioning. Yes.
Not possible. The subject of the lyrics was not brought up in police questioning.
I read the full report myself. So the lyrics weren't in the newspaper and the police didn't mention them. The only place you could have heard them was in this courtroom. In English, no less.
The witness will explain himself.
Machi says, he says...
Yes?
It is true I read the newspaper, but this is not where I learned the lyrics. I was mistaken. Now I remember. You remember? He says he heard of the lyrics from me. But what? But you just said you didn't.
Is this true, Lamiroir?
Yes. I'm afraid I've forgotten him myself. Bull, you're protecting him.
And it looks like Hair 4 has been jumping to conclusions again. It seems so, yes.
No. I was on to something, I know it. I can't let this chance slip away.
Time is an issue today. Mr. Justice, are you finished with the cross-examination?
What are you going to do, Apollo? If I'm going to keep on cross-examining, I'd better have an angle of attack. Or else. My bracelet's still reacting. Your Honor, please allow me to continue.
If you must, you must. Very well, witness.
I understand. It was I who explained that the crime followed the song.
We're going for you, lady.
Her tail is going again. This is stupid. Well, okay. We know it wasn't you. Didn't you say like 2 seconds ago that you only told him vaguely and didn't tell him the actual lyrics? Oh, now I just remembered because it's suitable or at the right time for us to defend the young boy. Gotcha! Hopefully, it's the same tell, or she's tricking me. One of the two. Lamiroir, I'm currently cross-examining Machi. Why should you be uncertain? Me? Uncertain? Yes, you swallowed the very moment you told the court. It was I who explained. I see there is little point in trying to hide anything from you. Lamiroir, are you indeed protecting someone? That is not a question with a simple answer. To tell the truth, I do not believe in myself. And allow me to answer for you. Lamiroir, you're protecting Machi. Obvious. Lamiroir, you're protecting Machi. That's why you lied and told us that you would explain how the crime followed the song. I don't fault you for trying to help, but this is not the way. Machi, I believe you didn't do it, really. I trust you. But you've lied to us twice. And now you have Lamiroir lying on your behalf. If this is going to work, you have to trust me too. Your 2 lies cover a simple truth. You understand English. You have to. Nah! Enough that he can cry out in English.
Witness, is this true? Do you understand English?
Yes, a little only.
What?
First you could see, now you can talk. And you did not know about this, Lamiroir? No, I did not. It's quite a surprise. The kid's been touring the world with you. He's gonna pick some of it up.
How many secrets is this witness hiding?
This is last. Machi, could you tell us what really happened? No shooting. I did no shooting. So you went in the dressing room when I heard those 2 gunshots, correct? Apparently, the answer to that question isn't simple either. I was in dressing room, behind desk, manager, he on floor. Which would be after the shooting, right? Then there is voice. Voice or voices? Was it you and Emma, Apollo? So when Machi went into the dressing room, Mr. Latouze had already been shot. And then we came to the door. Panel high up. I take off. Run away! Run away! So it was you who escaped through that air vent? No, it was him who escaped through the door. Because as Lamiroir puts it, she heard things, saw things, you know, from the small window. Which means we still have to figure out who left the room. Which then means that Lamiroir couldn't have dropped a brooch there. If you think about it too, if Machi did the escaping of the room at that point, through the door. Ha! Questions, answers, we need them. As the prosecution has held all along, no less. The defendant has admitted to being at the scene. Might we take this as a confession? No, he's clearly denied that he did it. I know shooting. Manager on floor. Already on floor. The victim had already been shot, you say? I found that hard to believe. The defendant understood the song lyrics. He was at the scene of the crime. This can only mean one thing. He is the shooter.
Does the defendant have anything to say to this?
He's clammed up, Apollo.
Then let's ask Mr. Justice. Will you require any further testimony from the witness?
Is that it? Is there nothing else I can get him to testify about? Wait, no, of course there is. What is this cocoon, anyway? The cocoon, the silk, is supposed to cure. A cure? Well, Machi, are you a smuggler? He won't tell me.
That cocoon has to have something to do with this.
Machi, please, tell us the truth, for your own sake. No, no more speak. Not to any of you.
So much for your precious trust there, Forehead.
Hey, you were the one who didn't believe him.
Regardless, this brings us to an impasse. It does seem that the defense and defendant are at odds. I doubt we are likely to learn anything more of value should this continue. I see no other course but to declare a 5-minute recess. The defense will work things out with the defendant so that we might proceed.
Ah, excellent. Time to talk. That's not bad. We're still going to need you to help, Lamiroir. And actually help. Apollo Eustace. That's justice.
Better than how to say it if you ever want to get some.
Believe. I know shooting. Machi claims Mr. Latouche was already down on the ground when he entered the room. Maybe it was a trap and he walked right into it? Suddenly, I hear revolver. Close, very close. Then I hear voice. You heard gunshots? Yes, it's true. I hear revolver, but only sound. Wait, you're saying you went into the dressing room and found Mr. Latouche already dead and then you heard shots? Right, here we go. If that's true... So, you were at the scene of the crime when you heard those shots? And you escaped through the air vent? I know. Huh? What do you know? No, he's trying to say no, isn't he? I know if I opening vent, I can leave stage and backstage. So the vents went to both the stage and the backstage area, or did he leave through the air vent then? Is that what he means? Hey, he's right. Look, Apollo. Huh? Yeah. But how did you know it was connected like that? Wait, I bet his father was the architect that designed the hall or something. No. I hear this from Magician. It's part of the trick. Magician? Don't look at me! Magician, huh? Well, at least we're clear on one thing. Machi didn't shoot Mr. Latouche. Yeah, but what does that leave us with? We're supposed to say he went into the room to find the body and then he heard the shots? That's one go. That one's gonna go well in court. Not. No, but it's what happened. It's so what happened. Apollo, you're his defense. You're supposed to believe whatever he says, even lies. That's what Daddy always told me. I'll just pretend you misheard him. Every time. So what do we do? You're sure you won't testify, Machi? No talking, no. Well, it was worth a shot. That cocoon. I can't go home. Can't go home? I can't go home to Borginia. I do not want to go home. Penalty for taking a cocoon from Borginia is death. That's right, it's punishable by death. Of course, he's scared. Oh well. I guess we'll just have to try a different approach. That's the spirit, Apollo. So what's your plan? If Machi won't testify about it, we'll have to get someone else to testify. Someone else? I think we're out of time. Let's get back in there. Right. Who can we get to testify about it? Has to be Lamiroir, really.
Court is now back in session. Mr. Justice, have you sorted things out with the defendant?
Yes, Your Honor. We had a good talk.
Very well. So will he testify?
Your Honor, the defendant will not testify.
What?
Shame. And here I thought this was your big chance to turn the case around. Actually, it is. The defense would like to approach this case from a different angle, Your Honor.
A different angle?
Machi won't testify, and I know who will. I would like to cross-examine the witness in this case, Lamiroir.
Lamiroir!
What are you up to now? Well, what I'm up to now is talking to the only person I really can talk about the scenario things that have gone on, because it seems that now, as Valant said, we need to look into the trick, which is the root of this case. The way people can make passage through places, and more to the point, if the magician was talking about the air vents and the fact that you could climb through them, it's got to be how a certain siren got from point A to point B. It's got to. If that's the way to travel, that's the way to travel. If that's part of the trick, it's part of the trick. So we'll find out more next time on Apollo Justice, and I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.